Hey folks, this is my last evening in Oaxaca. For some of you, you're maybe getting pretty familiar with this terrace. Finally got some rain today, and we're hoping that it doesn't rain while we're doing this interview. But yeah, I feel pretty lucky. Yesterday, I got to interview a Chico State grad, Elibeth Alcantar, and wow, while we were doing the interview, a geography major were you coming from Mexico City?
Started in LA, but came from LA to Mexico City to
Okay, so he
Oaxaca.
might have been waiting in Mexico City to get on the plane, but a geography major was on his way here, and I thought, I had so much fun talking to Elibeth that I'm gonna talk to Corrie Emmons. And he's here in Oaxaca. And we're going to talk to Corrie about being a geographer. And when did you graduate?
2010. Wait,
No, that's
high school. 2014.
2014. Okay, that's not so long ago. A lot of the faculty's still there. But I got some questions for Corrie, and he's going to give great answers. And then at some point, I'll post this. Okay, so Corrie Emmons, a 2014 graduate of Chico State, got a degree in geography.
Yep.
You were able to get your degree in 4 years, which a lot of students don't. So great. I got questions for you. They might lead to other questions. But first thing, Corrie, please tell us where you're from and how you wound up at Chico State.
I'm born and raised in Chico, California. Yeah.
Okay.
And so Chico State was always in my vision and on my mind. You know, I went to Chico High School right next door. And so in my mind, it was always an option for me.
Now, wait a minute. I met your grandparents. I met you, well, I mean, I already knew your dad and your mom. But I met is it your father's father or your mother's father?
Father's father.
Right. Did he go to Chico State too?
Yeah, I'm actually the fourth generation.
Okay, so there's a legacy here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So Chico State has been an option and talked about in my family for a long time.
Was there any pressure that you go to Chico State?
There was zero pressure that I went to Chico State, but
cool.
I ended up going there because I was looking for a place to run track and field. I wasn't that fast, but fast enough to, go somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I ended up looking at all the options. Ended up looking around, Colorado, looking around in Arizona at various schools there, but none of them compared to hometown. And so
Yeah, and hometown has a great track program.
it's a great track program. There's a beautiful campus and great academics.
Okay.
And so I ended up there, and so,
Cool.
yeah. I
All
was
right, so
happy
you
to.
got there. Actually, I think you were in my class, your very first semester. You and Sean Boyer.
That's right.
Well, that leads to the next question. So you're there at Chico State. You go to Chico State partly because it's familiar to you. You're part of a legacy. It's in a hometown you like. When do you start thinking about a major?
I originally I was thinking about a major pretty quick. I wanted to be a biology major, maybe get into botany, but quickly realized that wasn't for me.
Was there a class that, there's like, oh, this is part of being a botanist and I don't like this?
I think I realized that what I liked about plants didn't line up with what I was skilled at.
Right.
And so I think a lot of the chemistry courses just didn't interest me. I didn't want to put in the work in
Right.
to do something that I wasn't into anymore.
Okay, so you were thinking major pretty early, and what you had considered turned out not to be what you wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
At what point did you start thinking, maybe I'll be a geography major?
It definitely happened in my freshman year in your human geography course. 102 with Sean Boyer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, Sean Boyer is a very influential No, okay. Okay, so even though you're thinking, you came to Chico State, this idea of biology, botany, but your first semester, why'd you even take a geography class?
I took a geography class because it was on the list of things that I could take to fulfill my requirements.
Okay.
It
GE.
seemed most interesting.
Okay.
It was a human and cultural geography class,
Yeah.
study of people and places and how they connect.
Right.
And so I was like, okay. I also know the professor, or
Oh,
I know his son,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Brady.
Yes. So Corrie and my youngest son, they were teammates, classmates. Well, certainly like what? Chico Junior and Chico High.
Chico Junior and Chico High School.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
became friends in high school.
Right. So there's some years there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in my class. You're still thinking botany, biology, but you're thinking, huh? So this geography might be something more than just getting a GE requirement out of the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
it became something that tapped into interests I already held, which were, I already cared a lot about the geography of my hometown, but didn't know how to put that into words. Like, I really appreciated the flora and the fauna. I appreciated the culture. I appreciated the way the town was laid out.
Yeah.
And this course began to connect the dots for me and why those things mattered, why they existed in the way that they did, and it brought it my vision to a global scale
Okay.
on how those things work.
So at what point did you decide, what semester did you decide, you know what, I think I'm going to declare a geography major?
I decided internally the second semester of my freshman year,
Okay.
and then began taking the coursework the beginning of my sophomore year.
Okay. And at any point were you thinking, oh, what kind of a mistake have I made?
Actually, no, I
Really?
felt like it fit what I wanted to do. I felt like there was a lot of options within the major to pursue various interests. Like, if you want to go the technical route, you can do GIS. If you don't want to do the technical route, you can still gain GIS skills to apply it to whatever you're interested in on the human and cultural side.
Yep.
I became enamored with the regional and city and regional planning aspect of it.
Yep.
And I found a lot of connections to the type of coursework that I wanted to pursue.
Cool. Okay, so obviously you took all your courses in sequence. That's one reason you were able to graduate in 4 years.
Yeah.
Which,
Also with the pressure of mom.
well, good for mom.
Yeah.
Good for pressure helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then you finished. Yeah. And then it's time for the rest of your life. Did the geography department help prepare you to figure out what the path is going to be next?
In an official capacity, maybe not, but in the connections I had made personally with people within the department, yourself included,
Okay.
It made it easier to process the years after college in finding a career path.
Right.
And so I would say that the coursework and what I learned as a geography major helped influence what I wanted to do. Now, was there a lot of hand-holding after? Not as much, but there was personal connection with professors.
Right.
Ended up meeting you on a Oaxaca trip,
Oh, that's right. That's
doing some
true.
repeat photography.
Yep.
I had moved to Los Angeles at this point and was working in education.
Right.
Um,
Now, did you see that you were going to work in education at some point?
I didn't see that until a year and a half after I graduated.
Okay.
And so originally I wanted to get into city and regional planning.
Okay.
But once again, I viewed city and regional planning more as a interest. And when I got in to see the bones of what that kind of career would be, I felt as if it wasn't in line with the kind of dynamic interaction I'd want to have with people on a
Right.
day-to-day basis.
Sure.
So in practice, it became something that I was like, I don't think I'm suited for this.
Sure.
Or would want a career in this.
Right.
Respect it, though.
Right. Sure.
And so then I began looking around and got into education as an instructional aide at a high school in South Los Angeles, and moved up into being a teacher. And the reason I became a teacher is because our social studies department was looking to expand, and I had been a geography major, and they said, hey, do you want to teach human and cultural geography?
Ooh.
And I said, yes, I'd love to do that. And what I felt, it became a dream job where I got to take the things I was interested in and then pass it on to students.
Yeah. Okay.
And eventually became a history teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he talked about passing on his interest. Corey and I, we emailed back and forth before he got down here, and he sent me a picture of, he sent me a field trip guide that he made for his students at his high school down in South Central LA. And this afternoon we've been looking at the work they did, working with old photographs to track the history of Los Angeles through several different eras. And it's like, damn. Oh, Kirsten, sorry about that. But the geographer totally made this. It was fulfilling to see what Corey had created for his students, and I was just going, God, why can't every California high school kid have a geographer teaching him California geography? That was great. All right, well, let me ask you this, Corey. As you mentioned earlier when we were walking around, we can't make these videos too long because the TikTok generation is going to be watching them. So we're going to cut it short with one final question. Do you have any advice for a current student who 9 years later, is in your shoes, walking into Chico State as a freshman, or maybe a year later as a sophomore, thinking, I wonder if geography might be right for me?
My advice is that if you take geography classes, you're gonna find something that connects to the interest you have either academically or personally, because geography is almost includes everything in the world, and you could make a map of almost anything. And I think that you should take the risk in taking a geography class, getting to know the professors. It's a very personal department. It's a department that is interested in you as a person. And so as you develop these personal connections, you're going to develop larger academic interests. And that could end up in you becoming a geography major, which you wouldn't regret. It's a major that works well with other majors as well. So if you're looking to double major, that's an option. It's one of the lower unit majors, so it works well to do that. But I think it makes you a well-rounded student that's capable of going into many different directions. And so I'd say go for it.
Thanks, Corey.
No problem.
That was good. Well, it was nice of Corey to join us. I keep wanting to say, are there any questions, but we're not in a classroom. Thanks for joining us. I think the next time I send you a video, I'll be showing y'all Chico and the Chico State campus, which, as Corey said earlier, it's gorgeous. So, see you later.